Come. I am inviting you. Sit down. Let's talk. Now, I welcome you. Today, we are still on a series. We are doing part 2 of how I recovered from my financial mistakes in my late 40s. Yes, I said late 40s. And last week, of course, we talked about something called confronting the truth. And now, today, we'll be talking about something called seeking knowledge. But if you're here for the first time, I encourage you to stay here. By the way, just find some space. The space is huge. Find some space, find a seat, sit down, subscribe. Start by punching that subscribe button, put a like, put a comment. Let me hear what a few things that that you will be hearing in this video. And to give you a little bit of orientation of how things happen here, we have 2 things that we do every twice a week. On Wednesdays, we have what we call the Biblical Success Principles Wednesday, where we sort of read the Word of God and we sort of pick out the inspiration and the nuggets that helps us in our life's journey, including our financial journey. I am a financial wellness coach, so I have a nose for I see things from afar when it comes to pulling out information or knowledge or understanding that helps us on our own financial journey. So what I do on Wednesdays is, yes, we do the Bible reading, and then we pull out that which helps us in our journey in general, but also in our financial life. And so we have been going through a series called The Ride Through Genesis. It's a very, very, very interesting conversation that we have during those moments of Wednesdays. And then on Fridays, a day like today, on Fridays we have we talk all things money, all things finance, and I love to talk a lot about, what I see, what I hear, my own experiences, maybe what I draw from other people's experiences, even as I sort of coach them, all that. So in the last week, I started a series called How I Recovered from My Financial Mistakes in My Late 40s. And so I am continuing with that. Last week, we covered something called confronting the truth, and today we are having something called seeking knowledge, just trying to share what my journey was like. And I encourage you now. I made several mistakes, by the way. Mimi, I am mistakes were kiba, though they call zilikuwa zimejaa hivi, there were many, but and if I was to think about the kind of mistakes I did, I of course got involved in businesses I did not understand. I got involved in wrong business partners. I didn't pay attention to financial literacy. So, things I didn't know, I got into debt that really wasn't necessary for me to get into debt. But anyway, that is in the past, and I am grateful to God that I was able to actually recover from that. And so I have been talking about these issues. And in fact, if you want to understand some of the mistakes I did, I think there's a playlist, I think it's called Financial Scams in Kenya, Forex Financial Scam in Kenya or something, Forex Scam in Kenya. It has about 14 videos where I have recorded my journey with the financial mistakes, and I have recovered, since then. But of course, I was going through a very tough and difficult time. But here I am. Do I look like I went through difficult time? Absolutely not, because the grace of God is sufficient. Anyway, so today, we are going to talk about, so I spoke last week, I spoke about confronting the truth and how I confronted the truth on 2 occasions. And then, so I started off now after confronting the truth and forgiving myself and forgiving others and just saying, okay, this is my true position. This is where I am. Then the next step, which was part of my recovery journey, was to seek help. My friend, seeking help in terms of seeking knowledge. And that's why I have titled this Seeking Knowledge, because, the Bible says my people perish for lack of knowledge. Ignorance and lack of knowledge is what sometimes gets us messed up in our financial journey. We ignore financial literacy knowledge. We ignore, you hear a coach, you hear, things that are happening, you just ignore, and you continue to sort of, slide until you become like me on your 47th birthday. You're like, my goodness, which forest is this? Did I find? Did I land? And for you to get yourself out of the maze and out of that forest, a moment of reckoning will come. Let me tell you, you can run away. We say you can hide, but you can't run. Or is it you can run and you can't hide? Yes, you can run, but you can't hide, because you will run from all this financial literacy, knowledge. You will run from understanding and from the knowledge. But let me tell you, a time is coming. We will come and pick you. We will come and trace you where you are. By then, in fact, it's not us who will trace you. You will be in your forest coming back this way to trace where you find us. So, and that is exactly what happened to me. I found myself in a hole. Now getting out of this hole and finding a forest, and then I have to say, okay, so now how do I maneuver through this forest? It's a huge maze. How do I manage to get out? And so seeking knowledge for me was the next practical step. I had to acknowledge that, you know what? I don't know. I don't know. And so when I acknowledged that I don't know, then it was time to say, okay, who knows? Where are the people who know, so that I can understand. So I enrolled in a financial literacy class just to understand how does money work? How is this financial planning business? What happens? And I'm telling you, I would open my mouth and say, oh my goodness, why didn't I find this knowledge earlier? Why didn't I find it useful? Why not find it useful? Why didn't I invest in that knowledge? Because if I had invested in that knowledge, if I had just taken time to actually say, okay, where are these people found? Can I enroll in some class somewhere? If I had done that, I know for a fact I wouldn't have made the mistakes I made with money, right? And so I sought knowledge. I enrolled in a financial literacy class. I sat there like a little baby. I learned, and I was like, oh my goodness, why didn't I know these things earlier? Where have I been all these days? There was this song that we used to sing when we were in primary school. My boy Billy, where you've been all these days? Yeah, it was like that, my boy Billy situation. Where have you been all these days? It's like, financial literacy was looking at me in the face and saying, where have you been all these days? And it's true. Where have I was confronting and saying, where have you been all these days? And yes, and a lot of us, we ignore. We have this tendency to ignore. We have this tendency to imagine that we know. We have this tendency to imagine that, after all, what don't we know? We are okay. We are fine. We know we are fine, until you get to know that you are not fine and you do not know. I will tell you. In fact, when I did that financial literacy class, I remember, one of the decisions that I made immediately was to reorganize my debt. Because as I said last week, I looked at my situation. Of course, I was in debt that I couldn't even, if I was asked, okay, so this one, what did you do with it? Neither here nor there. It's debt that I took that for which I could not see. And because I was taking debt to finance businesses that were not working, and businesses that I was not wired for. I was not wired for those businesses. That was not even where my kingdom mandate. That's not even where God was calling me. But because I was ignorant, and I wish I had even paid, I don't know. I wish I had even paid I don't know, anyway. I paid my debt. I looked at my debt. I came up, of course, based on the financial literacy education that I found. I came up with a debt management plan. So I was able to actually fast track my debt payment fairly quickly. I had to just, say, you know what? I came up with I was actually, let me even say this. I had taken a business debt. I had taken a debt to finance a business at that time. Oh my goodness. This head of mine. Okay, Lucy, where? Anyway, I had taken a debt from the bank. It was, I think, how much was it? It was 2 million, but I also had another, it was a top up of some other ends. Oh my God. Anyway, a debt mess, if you know what I mean. So I still had, because I was still going through this business, I was still doing the setup processes and everything. And of course, all signs, everything was pointing to the fact that this one, there are things that are not working. This one, there are things that are not working. But sometimes when you don't know, you keep saying, yeah, it will work, it will work. Even if everything is pointing to the fact that this one, you need to pull out. You need to just say, you know what, it's enough. So I reached, because of the education, because of the literacy that I found, because of the knowledge that then I now knew, I was looking at now things from a very different perspective because of what I knew. So I knew that this one, from when I do all the calculations, when I do all the everything that I am, based on the knowledge, when I do my projections and everything points to the fact that I shouldn't invest any more, one more shilling. Yeah, I shouldn't put in any one more shilling. Yeah, if it will work, let it work with whatever it is, but not anymore. I am not putting in money anymore. And that's what I did. And so I was able to actually fast track my debt payment. I did my debt payment, and then just as I had thought about this business, eventually it never worked. But at least if I had not gone through financial knowledge, if I had not gone through financial literacy, I would have continued to put money and to pump money into that business. I would have continued to pump and pump and pump. I would have gotten more loans to just pump and pump and pump. But when I went into financial literacy, when I went into a class of financial literacy, I knew for a fact I don't need to put any coin here, because I can already see its death. I can see it. I can see that based on what I learned, the parameters are completely not right at all. And as sure as the sun rises, the business collapsed. But it collapsed because it collapsed, and it ate up quite some money from me, but at least I was able to actually close the tap. If I had not closed the tap, based on the knowledge that I received, that business would have, oh my goodness. And it was a partnership business, of course. So my business partner kept telling me, let's pump. And he wasn't pumping because anyway, but I was the financier in this case, the way. And for people who are in employment, because you are the people I talk to, you are the people I address. When you're in employment, because your time is tied, you don't have the freedom of time, you partner with somebody who has the freedom of time, and maybe the freedom, some skill, or at least they ostensibly say that they have some skill, and you partner with that person, and because you are the financier, you are not necessarily seeing the inside. You're not in this. Your partner keeps telling you things are working, or things will work, or gives you a very optimistic view, and for you, because you are also looking at making it big, you keep pumping and pumping and pumping, and before you know it, yes, the other person may lose time, but you are the one who has lost the resources. So you have lost both time and resources, so your loss is bigger, because you have lost money and you have lost opportunity. And sometimes you get so stuck because you get into a business partnership, you're actually almost very, very scared, because first, you don't know, and this person is telling you things, and they are telling you, and your work is to just, you have opened a tap, and because you are employed, you have access to debt, access to your bank. You just call your bank. Your bank loves you very much, because you can they know that you can sign off debt, because you have the advantage of a salary. So you don't know, and because you also are ignorant, you have not even taken time to go to a finance literacy class to understand, so that you're able to actually analyze, do an analytical analytical analysis, if there is anything like that, so that you can actually analyze and see things for what they are. You just open your tap, you just keep financing. In the meantime, you're losing time, you're not putting money in the right places. And before you know it, like me, you get to your 47th birthday and you have nothing. Yes, nothing. As in, you have nothing, because you have just been opening your taps. You have umefungulia mfereji. You have opened your tap. It is pouring on. And this fellow, your so-called business partner, is really giving you the hype of how things are going to work. That is what happened to me. So anyway, the thing that saved me was financial literacy, and that's why seeking knowledge was part of what I was able to use to help me to actually begin to close the tap. I closed the tap, and after closing that tap, I was able to actually then say, after closing the tap, then I was able to actually now say, okay, I want to now manage my debts. I want to pay off my debts so that now after I have paid my debts, I can now begin to now apply the financial literacy knowledge of how to now chaperone my things and shape them properly. And you know what? You make enemies. In that season, my friend, you make enemies, yes, and it's okay to make those enemies because you are reforming you're reforming, you're making reforms, and you're making reforms of your financial life, and that's what I did. And so I want to say this, that seeking knowledge is very important. By the way, I didn't even stop at financial knowledge because I realized that I was hungry and I was thirsty. I was so thirsty for knowledge, and I went all out and I was like, okay, I am going to invest in, getting this knowledge. And thankfully, by the way, as a result of me seeking that knowledge, 3 years later, because I celebrated my 47th birthday on 20th of September 2020, I resigned from work on 31st of August, no, 31st of July 2023. So like basically almost 3 short years, I was able to actually have that turnaround. I would never have had the courage to actually, take, resign from work and do what I do, because it's now this is what I should have been doing from the beginning. This is how this is what I was wired. But I would never have understood because I would never have understood if I did not invest in seeking knowledge. And so I then now, worked on myself, and I'm going to be talking about that in future videos. But the important thing that I am sharing with you today, I said that last week I talked about confronting the truth as my first station of my recovery journey from my financial mistakes. Number 2, I sought knowledge. So I don't know. I mean, and by the way, many times we think that seeking knowledge is only for people who have made financial mistakes. My friend, you don't have to wait until you have made your financial mistakes, because I can tell you it's very, very costly to walk around in the dark without knowing, without understanding, making all the mistakes, and then you get to your 50s. Yes, you get to your 50s or close to 50s, and that is when you're waking up to the maze and the forest that is your financial mistakes. And that's why, by the way, I'm very passionate about talking to people and speaking to people and coaching women, especially who are who are still in employment and who are looking to actually, see the light. Also open their eyes and see the light. Don't wait until you have made your mistakes. Don't wait until that time when you're now at my Damascus moment was in my 47. You don't have to wait for that. Seek the knowledge so that then you can begin to work around your finances from a place of knowledge and from a place of information. And by the way, I have a challenge that is coming. By the way, I run what I call Manage and Multiply Your Money Challenge, and it's a 3-day challenge. I run a 3-day challenge, which is where we meet on Zoom and we begin to look at specific things that you need to be aware of, even as you plan through your financial life. Because a lot of times there are things that we do not know, and so because we are not aware, because we do not know what to do, the realities and the hard truths about our financial journey, we then just do our things the way we know, the way we think, the way we, and so I want to invite you to come and be part of that challenge. We'll put the link below in the description. We'll put the link for you to sign up for that challenge. This month, of course, we are now in the month of December, obviously. So we will allow you to do your festivities. But as you do your festivities, remember that I actually want to challenge you. If you look at this whole year of 2023, if you look at this whole year, and if you ever get to listen to this video in many years to come, when you look at whatever this video will catch you, when you look at how you have ran and how you have managed how you have steered your financial life, are you happy? Are you happy with where you are? Are you clear of where it is that you're going? Are you clear about how you are managing your finances and where you're going? A lot of times we think we are clear. A lot of times we lie to ourselves that we know, but we do not know. And that is why, by the way, for me, I'll tell you, I don't lie. First of all, there's a book I wrote called The 4 M's of Money, the secret code that every employee needs to know. I am telling you, I want to invite you to read that book. By the way, the information on how you can get that book is also in the description. Get it. Now, I normally talk about the 3-day challenge, the manage and multiply your money challenge, because you need to begin to manage your money differently. Let me tell you, you need to begin to manage your money differently. And this is a 50-year-old woman talking to you and telling you, my friend, hey, reform, because there are things that I see ahead, or there are things that at least I have experienced in my 50s, that when I look back, if somebody had told me those things in my 30s, I would honestly have been better. But it's never too late. Even if you're in your 40s, it's okay for you to engage in the manage and multiply your money challenge. It's only $42 for now. But of course, the price keeps changing depending on where we are. But at the moment, when we are entering, it's going to be in January 9th to 11th January 2024, and then of course thereafter I will keep on announcing when the next challenge is. But I want to be able to actually be doing these challenges on a monthly basis, when possible, where possible, to do on a monthly basis, so that as many people can actually get the information, get the knowledge. But my friends, remember, knowledge is not free. If there is free knowledge, of course, it's there, it's all there, it's there, but many times you never quite get I had. Now, when I talk about seeking knowledge, you can sit in YouTube all time. You can actually take and get all, sit on YouTube, you read all, you listen to all the videos. They are important and they are useful, but there is a level that you may not necessarily get into. Even for us who create content on YouTube, there is a level that we are not able to go into, because there's a level. So that level, you get it in a coaching session, you get it in a coaching class, you get it in a place, and whether it's one-on-one, whether it's group coaching or whatever it is, you get it there, and you begin to now advance. And for me, I will tell you, that was the next step after I confronted my truth, and I knew that I am kaput. This is where I am. I had to now say, I raise my hands. I don't know. I need somebody to help me to understand and to know. Now, you may not have made mistakes, or you may have made mistakes, but I do not want, I really love to catch people who have not made mistakes, because it's better. They say that prevention is better than cure. Because once you have made financial mistakes, I'm telling you, the recovery journey takes long. The only reason why, by the way, my recovery journey was short 3 years, was because I was earning a high income. I was a country director in an international organization. So my income was high. And because my income was high, all I needed to do was to sort of just reorganize things and just get so serious about everything. And that's why then my recovery journey was shorter. Now, if you're not necessarily earning that high income, your recovery journey can be long and treacherous. Is there a word like that? It can be long and painful, right? So for me, the recovery was as a result of the fact that I was earning a high income. I could reorganize. I had also at least set a bit of a financial security foundation, like owning a home pretty early when I was young. So there are certain things that I had been able to do much early, when I was younger, that also sort of worked together to help me to do my recovery quickly and fast. So that is why I am then telling you, do not wait until you make your mistakes. Please don't wait until you make mistakes. Seek that knowledge, and that's why I'm inviting you to the 3-day challenge, the Manage and Multiply Your Money Challenge, so that you can begin to actually understand, these are the things. So this is then why it is important for me to manage my money in a different way. And of course, we then continue to advance into something I call the Money Bootcamp, but I'm not talking about the Money Bootcamp right now. I am only talking about the Manage and Multiply Your Money Challenge. It's a 3-day challenge where we meet on Zoom in the evenings, and we sort of really go through the depth of things that actually now begin to actually help you see, oh my goodness, I need to change the trajectory of how I am managing my finances. By the way, that is why for me, I am a coach that is very keen on helping you to take charge of your financial future. You will never be able to take charge of your financial future if you don't know. If you're still ignorant, if you're still thinking that, paying a coach is a waste of time, my friend, I leave you there to say that it is a waste of time. All right. you will come looking for a coach. I will not even be the one looking for you. By the way, me, I sit here, I don't even look for anybody. You will come looking. I am telling you. So instead of waiting and coming, waiting until you have all your financial mistakes and then you have to come looking, you better say, you know what? I want to open the year. I want to close this year knowing that yes, I can confront the truth of where things have been. That's okay. Next step, like Lucy did, seek knowledge. Come to the challenge. And so even as you celebrate your festivities, I wish you a very Merry Christmas. Even as you celebrate, even as you go through your your everything, preparing your school fees for your children and everything, remember, you can still put away something to help you set yourself apart in 2024 as the year begins. So on 9th to 11th of January, we meet. As I have said, you will find the link, and if you click there, of course, you will see how you need to get into the challenge. So until next week on Friday. I will be talking about something else, but still within this series of how I recovered from my financial mistakes in my late 40s. But then, as I have said, please, there are many. This land of my channel has many videos. Please go and look at them. Subscribe, comment. Let me know if this is helping you. Please let me know if it is helping you, and then of course you can share, you can like, and let's keep engaging. Thank you, and see you next Friday.